Thank you everyone for being here. My name is Alexis Engelhart. I am the project manager of Light. Um, I'm so happy to be here with you on day 2 of the festival and announce and celebrate our spring finalists. Our spring open call ran from February 1st through May 15th, and the theme was Healthy Spaces and Places. Okay, so like I said, it was our spring open call of this year. It ran February 1st to May 15th. And the specific question we asked was, using art, letters, stories, and poetry, tell us, how might we create healthy spaces and places for all? So just a little bit of a background and just to kind of get your thoughts spinning before we dive into our finalists. But the spaces and places in our lives play a very important role in creating, shaping, and sustaining the quality of our health. As our locales shape us in our health, we also shape these spaces and places. So space specifically can be understood as the physical location that can be defined by coordinates, but we also sometimes view space as an atmosphere or a mental landscape, such as a safe space. While space occupies more of that objective location, it's place that actually gives these spaces the meaning. So the personality, the attachment, intersecting the cultural and personal connections to identity. So place is very continuous. It's a hub for community building and activity and piecing communal identity making. So these spaces and places continuously shape as we move through the world. So we specifically wanted to know, and we asked our audience, what is a healthy space or place to you? So I would like everyone, I'm going to read something that we included on our call. So as I read it, I would like for you to hear this before we announce our finalists and just kind of think about it and imagine your healthy space or place. So we said, from person to person, we know that healthy spaces and places may have vastly different meanings. Many spaces or places contribute to defining or describing who you are as an individual. Spaces or places you escape to from reality, those where you gather to socialize, or even simply just go to be alone. Places or spaces you read about in books and dream of going to, those that stimulate your brain and create a healthy learning environment, the ones that promote mental or physical wellness, like your local park or farmer's market, where you go to relax your body or mind or gather with family and friends. It could be somewhere a majority of your time is spent, or somewhere you spend time once a week or twice a month as upkeep for your health. To some, it may resemble improvement, empowerment, and growth, while to others, it may mirror a loving and nurturing environment. Some individuals even find comfort in spaces or places to heal from traumatic experiences or events. It can be personal or public, your healthy space or place, in a hospital where you receive treatment, your iPad where you create, your mental realm, or your favorite restaurant where you gather to eat your traditional cuisine. All these spaces and places are vital in influencing our health and well-being. Okay, before we announce our finalists as well, our call ended, like I said, on May 15th. So after our call ended, we went through a judging process with our evidence-based judging criteria. They were scored specifically on 5 criteria: innovation, clarity of expression, originality and creativity in expression, appeal of content, and then relevance to public health. So we award 3 prizes to our top 3 finalists of each category. So we will award first, second, and third place to art, letters, stories, and poetry. Okay, so we'll dive right in. So our Arts for Public Health prize: Jessica Denny, won third place in art. Gerber Garman won second place in art. And Charlotte Liu won first place in art. So congratulations to our art finalists. Our next category is letters, and it's called our Dear Public Health Prize. We have Jennifer Snyder, who won third place in letters, Natalia Poma, who won second place in letters, and Kathleen Corpus, who won first place in letters. So congratulations again to our letters finalists. Poetry is our third category. It's called Poetry is Not a Luxury Prize. So we have Ariana Matando, who won third place. Kawahilonani, Goto, who won second place in poetry. And Mahilani Tategwe Vorga, who won first place in poetry. Congratulations to our poetry winners. And finally, stories. Our Pen 3 prize in storytelling is what this one is called. Angela Townsend won third place in stories. Janine DeHoney won second place in stories. And Sarah Amin won first place in stories. So congratulations again to all of our stories finalists. Okay, at this moment, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we will invite the finalists from our Spring 2024 Healthy Spaces and Places open call to share a little bit more about their submissions, their experience submitting to the open call, and what kind of this means to them. All right. Okay, so I see some of our finalists on the call. My first question for you, and you can just raise your hand, you can unmute and speak, you can write in the chat, whatever you are comfortable with. But the first question is, tell us a little bit about your submission, why it relates to creating healthy spaces and places. And tell us the medium you use too, so if you use art, letters, stories, or poetry. Oh, I think Ginny.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
no. Sorry. I'll start. Um, so aloha no, my name is Mahealani Taituila Forga. I apologize. I'm in Hawaii right now, and Hawaii Standard Time is 5 a.m. So I'm just waking up. But I'm super excited to be on the call and super happy to have placed for poetry. So um I am from Mililani, Oahu. The mountain that nourishes me is Mount Kaala, and it looks like a hapai woman, a pregnant woman. My waters flow to Pu'uloa, which is Pearl City. And my ahupua'a is Waipio Uka, so I live in the mountains. Um, so my submission was for poetry, and I chose poetry as a medium first because I'm also a hula dancer. I've been dancing since I was 5 years old. And so looking at poetry, listening to poetry, and expressing your emotions through poetry has always been a constant in my life because we look at songs. And since you're a little kid, you get taught by your kumuhula, your teacher, to really analyze songs to see what it feels, what it looks like and feels to you, but also the stories behind it, the people that it was made for, um, and the traditional ancestral knowledge that it um, is expressed and shown through that song. So actually, this was my first poetry submission ever, and so it kind of came naturally in a way, and really what it talks about for healthy spaces for me is how you can cultivate and access your own healthy spaces, beyond the physical realm. It can be through accessing it through Aina, through land, access it, which in turn really accesses it to your kupuna, your ancestors. So really harnessing that type of power as well, to find that you always have light and healthy spaces within you. And for me, I kind of took you through a journey of my life in my early 20s, from when I was 20 years old to 25 years old, where I just was succumb with so much grief. I lost my mother, I lost my grandmother, and then I let go of my first love. And it was really in the moments of just feeling the deep sense of darkness and feeling very alone that I had to cultivate and find my own and foster my own healthy space. So it kind of pushed me to really start to dig into myself, into looking and other than looking into others. And it really, honestly, it flowed very naturally for me in a way that I felt that my story was ready to be told. And I've never shared this type of story publicly in that way, in this type of medium. So, and also to anyone other than like maybe my close friends, my family, and my classmates. So it felt like it was time, and to share how the things that nourished me and the things that helped me grow and be the person I am today, to hopefully be a light for someone else too. So, mahalo nui.
Ah, thank you so much. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you're a finalist. Janine, I saw that you were maybe speaking earlier, but you were on mute. Did you want to share anything? Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm Janine DeHoney. I'm so pleased and honored to be a second place finalist. This is my second time entering the open call, and I just love the vision of the magazine, of Light magazine. And healthy places and spaces, it just really touched me because my space has always been my bedroom. That's been my sacred place. From the time I was a child, if I had an overwhelming day, I went in my room and took a nap, and that replenished me. And then as I grew up and I had other problems going on and dealing with loss and different things in my neighborhood, unfortunately, I would write. And my bedroom was the place that I would go and fold my legs and sit on my bed and have the breeze coming through the window. And I would write my feelings down and all my emotions. And that continued as I was an adult. And I've always thought it was my sanctuary. And I also think I get it from my mother because my mother, she loved being in the bedroom and she loved reading magazines and making lists. And it was just a natural place to be. And it's some place where we went when we were stressed, when life seemed like it was giving us more lemons and not as sweet with lemonade. And just the place that I love. And I chose writing stories because when I write stories, I can sort of write from my heart and share with the world different personal things. And hopefully they'll have a takeaway. And I hope when whoever reads my writing, that when they read the last word, that is something that's going to sit with them and help heal them and help affirm them and help them know their worth.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm happy as well that you are a finalist. Thank you for submitting and sharing your work.
Yes, thank you.
I see some other finalists. Yeah, Angela, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. It is an incredible honor to be here with you all. I adore Light's mission and purpose, and I just was overcome with joy to get to be part of this with all of you. So congratulations and thank you for writing with courage and creating art with courage to help to heal others and to heal this brokenhearted world of ours. I was also in the stories category. And Janine, what you just said, it resonated so deeply with my heart about wanting to write in such a way that people come away feeling their worth.
Yeah.
That's it. That's everything. That if we can carry candles into this world and hand them to others, then our words have succeeded. Um,
Yes.
I resonated deeply with the call, with the idea of a healthy space. And as someone who's lived with chronic illness since I was very, very young, the space that immediately came to mind for me was the safety of a friendship where you don't have to prove anything and
Mm.
where your love is never in question, even if your body is not enabling you to participate in the ways that most people can. So the safety of a friendship where you don't need to explain yourself and where someone can shelter you whatever you need. And I wrote it in the form of it was called On Behalf, and I wrote on behalf of your friend with a chronic illness, know that you are treasured because the wonderful brave people who befriend those of us who live with these frustrating chronic things, often we may have to cancel plans or we may not be able to go play paintball or to go to the barbecue, and something that always haunted me was the idea, do the people that I love feel that I'm choosing not to be there or that I'm letting them down or that it's some reflection on my love for them? So I wrote it almost as a love letter to those steadfast people to thank them for being such a reliable space and to reassure them you are absolutely loved. And don't take my limitations as any reflection on my love for you. And
Mm.
ended by thanking them for letting me feel safe no matter what I need. And that kind of friendship where you do feel your worth. So this created between two people that way is my favorite place on earth. And I would point to my mother as the person who has always been my safest place in that regard, that
Mm.
it can be unspoken. I can just be a full body and soul human being with her, and there's no apology needed. Just total safety. So, and that's something I strive to create for others in the world. Even if I'm having a day where I can't leave the house, through my writing or just through my loving people through correspondence, to try to create that safe place where everyone can feel fully alive. So it's an honor to be part of this and to use storytelling. And I just thank Light for your gorgeous mission.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Angela. It was beautiful. And congrats to you as well. Ariana, I see you are on the call. I didn't know if you wanted to share. I didn't want to pressure you. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Um, what was the question again?
Yeah, let me tell you. So tell us a little bit about your submission, why it relates to creating healthy spaces and places, and then also tell us what medium you use. So if you were art, letters, stories, and poetry.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Ariana Matondo, and my submission was poetry. And I chose to do a poem because I've been writing poetry since I was about 13 years old. And I found Light for Public Health in late 2022, but I just felt like I didn't have any pieces that really resonated with it until this recent theme. I wrote about the Baltimore Museum of Art because I am someone who never really understood visual art growing up, even though I really, really wanted to. And I struggled writing poetry about it. I actually just took a class called ekphrastic poetry in my undergrad, and it really helped me understand visual art a lot better. But growing up, I would try to write these pieces about things that moved me, and it wouldn't come out well. And so it was a huge part of why I stepped away from creativity and art. And as a result, I was extremely depressed in my adolescent years. And so I wrote about the museum because it's free. And so I've been going there since I was around 14 years old, just trying to look at the art and trying to understand it. And had there not been an accessible place and a free place for me to engage with art in a way that I'm not being shamed or I'm not being chastised for not understanding it. The people there are extremely supportive. I highly recommend the Baltimore Museum of Art. There's workshops and it's all free. And I just think that we kind of take that for granted in our society. And I wrote the first draft of this poem. I tried to write it when I was 14 and I couldn't do it. And I returned to it at 23 and I was able to finish it. And I'm just like, wow, if I had never had this space, I would never be the artist I am today. So it's an ode to the Baltimore Museum of Art, but it's really a celebration of all museums and all public places where we can access art, like libraries, theaters, not museums, I just said that, orchestras, all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, and congrats as well to you for being a finalist. I'm actually headed to Baltimore next weekend, so I'll have to go there. Okay, I want to read a piece as well from one of our finalists who could not make it today. She sent in a couple answers to the questions. So she responded to this question. Her name is Sarah. She said, this piece is both a personal reflection on living with lupus and a dedication to my neighborhood. I chose to write this based on my experiences being diagnosed with lupus and how it affected my relationship to space and place. It took me a while, more than a year really, to fully comprehend the lifestyle changes like avoiding prolonged sun and heat that I needed to do to maintain my overall health and wellness. So Sarah submitted a story. So this is her story that she's talking about. She also said, at the same time, I'm someone who enjoys and finds increased meaning in being outdoors. In the past few years, I've been inspired by the books How to Do Nothing by Jenny Odell and The World of Wonders by Amy. Ooh, that's a really long name. Nezhukumeta, which has fostered a greater interest in being present and enjoying the outdoors, even if it's just around the corner of where I live. So in this piece, I wanted to depict how I navigate my relationship to the outdoors with lupus by showing an appreciation for the seemingly small things, like taking a walk, and how it brings me moments of joy and reflection. So that again is from one of our finalists, Sarah. Okay, so another question I have for you all is, why do you think creativity matters in the public health space or like in the health fields? Why is this important? Like, why would your submission matter to our field?
Well,
Go ahead.
I think it matters. It's very crucial because it helps you think outside the box. It's no longer the status quo and everything in black and white. You're able to add some color in there and different variables so that you can meet a patient where they are, um, deal with different cultural um, missing the word, but um, different as far as the culture is concerned. And I think that, like I said, you can move beyond the status quo and um, being creative. It helps the you feel that you're okay. I need to take a little break. I'm mixing my words.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
yeah,
Another finalist, Charlotte, she sent in her responses too. She was unable to make it today. But it kind of aligns with what you were talking about, Janine. She said creativity fuels the arts, helping bridge gaps between people and generates empathy. But it's not
right,
just
right,
about the art. Like in the medical field, creativity drives innovation, like developing the COVID vaccine. It's the bridge of progress and making things better for everyone.
right. Yes, so true. And it's just another way of problem solving. And like I said, you know, with so much going on in the world, we need different ways to relate to people, especially patients and those who are having emotional issues, mental issues, etc. And just showing them more love, more compassion. And a lot of times that's missing in the public health field.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Yes, Ariana.
I think art is incredibly influential no matter what type of form it is. And I've noticed I became very passionate about mental health when I moved out for the first time because there was a whole lot of things to consider about my personal responsibility to keeping others safe. And I think that that's not something everyone considers. So art has the power to give a voice to those who are underrepresented in public health, specifically marginalized communities. I was diagnosed with a chronic illness last year, and it's one of those invisible ones. So it's not like you can look at me and tell how I'm feeling or what's going on. But during that time, I was able to turn to anthologies or poetry books that were written by people who have chronic illnesses talking about chronic illnesses, and I felt represented for the first time. And I also feel like other people who don't have a chronic illness could read that and finally understand the point of view and generate more empathy and more understanding. And so that's what I think art and public health can do, which is why I was so excited to see that there was a publication and organization like this, because I feel like the intersection between creative writing and public health is largely unexplored, despite the fact that the two kind of influence each other a lot. So, yeah.
Thank you. We're so happy that you found us as well. Angela, did you have something you wanted to say as well?
First of all, yes to absolutely every word you just said, Ariana. Oh my goodness, do I feel that? From the time I was a little girl, I grappling with chronic illness, words were kind of my comfort and my cathedral, and I don't know what I would have done without the art of others who were brave enough to speak into that space. To answer your question, Alexis, I think often art can help us to simultaneously transcend our bodies, if we're if they're not behaving, but they can also give us the courage to go deeper into them and to have mercy for them, even when it wouldn't necessarily be the path that we've chosen to live with an illness. We can be gentle with our bodies in a way if we have art as almost the language to share with them. And yet again, also to transcend them. I know no matter what I'm feeling on any given day, when I sit down at my keyboard, when I can write, that's when I can be a cheetah and I can be free and I can run in a way that my body never could. But then it also enables me to come back to it with gentleness and with compassion, even for myself. And then again to hope that my words can somehow nurture and nourish others as well.
Thank you, Angela. I love that. Okay, the next question I have for everyone is, what do you hope to achieve or communicate through your work being selected for this opportunity? So some of you kind of talked about this a little bit already, but are there any other comments or things you'd like to share?
Well, one thing I'd like to share is that I hope that my work helps people to think about homelessness and making sure that every child, person, human being, and even pets has a home, because everyone needs a sanctuary. Everyone needs a safe place. Everyone needs a place to refuel and regroup and to have a little bit of a break before they start their next day and their next day and their next day. And I hope that there's more conversation about that and more things done about the state of the world today after they read my essay, hopefully.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know,
I have another piece that I'd like to share. This one again is from Charlotte. So she created a piece, just to give a little bit of background. She created an artwork, and it was called Dinner Scene. So it was at the dinner table. She said, the first immediate thing I wanted to invoke in viewers is a sense of confusion and intrigue. Why are there random, obviously inedible objects on the plates instead of food? But once you look closer, it becomes clear there's an intent and meaning with everything. the monkey toy and bell in front of the small kitty chair, the Zoom screen on an iPad accompanied by hand sanitizer looming in the back, and the stack of papers and books in front of the viewer. It shows a vast array of experiences and times in the artist's life set on a dinner table. I wanted to depict how one single space can hold so much significance and time for someone. Anybody else want to share?
For me, what I would hope to disseminate through my work is that we obviously live in an imperfect world, and there's always that dualism, that duality of life and death, joy and grief, light and darkness. And that is a huge theme in Hawaiian culture of understanding that that's what life is about. That's the natural cycles of life. It's not always going to be what we call uluvehi, which is always flourishing, always growing. There's going to be times where, you need to have to foster yourself, take care of yourself, and find things that nourish yourself too. But really, I hope my piece will show someone that your truest home, your truest North Star is within yourself, and you can find that always within yourself, and that's powerful. Also, because it's with yourself, it's also with your ancestors, which is your DNA. It's embedded in you, so you can't deny that you are a part of your ancestors, a part of your kupuna. So I hope, especially to underserved communities, marginalized communities, indigenous peoples, are stories that underneath communities, not underneath communities, but the core of communities is people. So really understanding that although we always look at that big lens of communities, populations, disease prevention and populations, that's what we always say at UH Manoa. My undergrad is in public health, but I'm also get a master's student in public health for specializing in Native Hawaiian Indigenous health. So that's kind of like my background of always hearing population, all of that, but really seeing at the core of populations are these peoples who have stories that need to be uplifted, families and real true feelings and complexities about themselves that we have to really understand, and really trying to uplift that part of you have that home within yourself always is knowing that knowingness, that light can never truly leave you, is what I hope to impart, and hope other people knows deeply within themselves to help them navigate through this imperfect life. But yeah, mahalo for letting me share my stories.
Thank you. That was very beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else have anything else? If you want to share any final insights or final comments on your experience, just like the open call process in general, or anything else, feel free to share.
Well, one thing I'd like to share is that create from your heart. When you asked about the one word, my one word was heart. And if you write from your heart, everything will fall into place. Your words, your art, your music, poetry, etc. And those are the things that will resonate with whoever reads your work. So that was my one word. I
I
was
love
going to draw a heart, but I'll show one.
it. Thank you. I love that. Did anybody else want to share their word? So I asked the finalists, what is one word to describe the process of creating your work for the open call? And then why did you choose this word? Yeah, Angela, go ahead.
I would say tenderness, because I believe in our health, as broadly defined as that can be. That is what will always bring us back to where we need to be. To treat each other and ourselves with great tenderness, I think, will always lead us into the light. And sometimes that's so much easier to do with the people that we love than with ourselves. But that's sort of my center point where I keep coming back to.
Very beautiful. Thank you. Okay, I have a few more things to share with you all. I really appreciate all of the finalists that were able to join today. It was so great to hear from you. And we are so, so excited to see your work in our Healthy Spaces and Places issue. So thank you again for submitting and also coming today. I'm going to share my screen again for you all. Okay, so just to talk about light issue 2. So this is not the Healthy Spaces and Places one, but this is our mental health and wellness issue that we are launching this weekend. So it is available to pre-order on our site, and I just wanted to kind of tell you a little bit about it to you and then show you what it looks like inside. So these, like I said, are submissions from our mental health open call and then also our wellness open call. And we had different artists work with us who created artwork in the magazine for us. So this is just a little snippet of what that will look like. And then we also are launching a light journal. So this light journal is new. We haven't launched a journal yet, but this is a more interactive journal. So something that you can open up and write inside and follow along with different prompts and just kind of read things and reflect. And this is a little bit, a little snippet of what that will look like as well. We do have some summer camp pieces. So this, for example, is from one of the summer camp students from last year. They are sprinkled in the journal, and then also they have a section in the magazine as well. So you can see from some middle schoolers and what their submissions were like. Okay. So as a reminder, this is available to purchase on our website now, both the light journal and light issue 2, as well as our very first issue, issue 1. The Healthy Spaces and Places magazine, that will come out in spring 2025. So yours will be here a little bit less than a year. And we can't wait to see your submissions in them. Okay, we are actually going to stay in this Zoom, but we're going to transition to our remarks from our sponsors. So we have some really great sponsors that sponsored the Light Festival, and we would love to share those with you and then also just hear from a few that are present today. So let me pull this up as well, and we will get started. Okay, again, let me know if you cannot see this. I think we'll be able to, but like I said, again, these are our 2024 Light Festival sponsors. So just firstly, before we start too, I just want to thank all of the sponsors for supporting us in our mission. It really means a lot to us, and we just really appreciate their support. So our first sponsor is Washington University in St. Louis, here and next. So we have a few words from the provost, Mary McKay. She said, WashU is engaged in a 10-year strategic plan referred to as Here and Next. The effort carried forward by Dr. Juliet and colleagues is exactly in line with the mission of Here and Next, that we should collaborate across disciplines and boundaries to advance transformative solutions to global challenges. By bringing together the community to elevate their voices and perspectives and working together to advance human thriving, this work embodies the aspirations of Here and Next. We are certainly proud sponsors of this important work. So thank you to here next at Washington University in St. Louis. Our next one is Northeastern University Public Health and Health Sciences.
Hi, everyone. My name is Robert Lehman. I'm professor and chair in the Department of Public Health and Health Sciences at Northeastern University. I want to thank the organizers of the Light Festival and apologize to you all for not being able to be there today, as I had a previously scheduled board meeting. But I'm thrilled to be able to make this video, and I want to personally invite you to come to our virtual exhibitor booth. We have our brand new and frankly still in progress video highlighting our Master's in Public Health degree in Boston, but it still highlights a number of the strengths of our program. We also have information about our accelerated online version of our MPH, as well as our MPH program in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have masters in health informatics and in real world evidence as well that may be of interest to you. At Northeastern, we are committed to a diverse faculty, staff, and student population. We are also committed to making private education as affordable as possible. So if any of these programs are of interest to you, please reach out and have a great day at this meeting.
Thank you. That was from Dr. Robert Lehman. He was professor and chair of the Department of Public Health and Health Sciences at Northeastern University. Okay, our next one is Northeastern University Institute for Health Equity and Social Justice Research. And this is from Dr. Alyssa Lincoln. So she's the director of the Institute for Health Equity and Social Justice Research. So the Institute is thrilled to be affiliated with Change Lab, which is at Northeastern University, and to be a co-sponsor of the Light Festival. This is a stellar example of the kind of innovative and creative work Change Lab does with youth. We look forward to supporting in years to come. So thank you again to the Institute for Health Equity and Social Justice Research. Our next sponsor is Corriday House, and that is located here in St. Louis. So we have our sponsor actually on the call with us today, so we will hear directly from Ronke Faletti.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good morning, everyone, and what an incredible opportunity to witness and listen to finalist stories and the work that the Light Festival is engaged with and doing. At Corriday House, we say that we're rooted in storytelling and restorative care, which is very much in alignment with the work that you're doing with the stories from the public that you're bringing to light with using the vibrancy of artistry to make this happen. I see a message that says there's an echo. I apologize for that. I don't know if I can help that. So at Corriday House, we are focused on maternal well-being and maternal mental health, and we use our approach as a village care model, which, you know, we hear that it takes a village to raise a kid, but we also believe that it takes a village to raise everyone, and we are all part of that village. And so we really center the aspect of community and social connection for restorative care. So I'm really happy to be here, really happy to have been a sponsor of the Light Festival, and look forward to future collaborations with Dr. Juliet and the team. You guys are doing an excellent job. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you. And thanks for being here today. Okay, and our final sponsor is Northeastern University, the Africana Studies program. And they are here with us today as well. So we will hear from Asia Potts and Talia Williams.
Hi, everyone. I'm Asia Potts. I'm a fourth-year PhD student in Northeastern's English department, and I'm also a program assistant and teaching fellow in the Africana Studies program.
Hi, everyone. My name is Talia Williams, and I'm a fourth-year health science student at Northeastern, getting my BS and MPH in the dual degree program. I've also been a program assistant with Africana Studies since my sophomore year, and I just loved being part of this awesome community and being engaged.
On behalf of the Africana Studies program and our program director, Dr. Regine John Charles, we are grateful for this opportunity to participate in the Light Festival.
The Light Festival brings together public health and creativity, connecting artists, poets, practitioners, and storytellers to share health information in meaningful ways through art, stories, poetry, and promoting healing and well-being for all.
And through our program's 4 pillars of intersectionality, social justice, ethical community engagement, and a local and global approach to Black studies, we remain dedicated to hosting and supporting initiatives that inspire positive change in both local and global communities.
And we're so thrilled to co-sponsor and support the Light Festival, and we really look forward to the continuous vibrant exchanges and connections that it'll continue to foster. And thank you so much for having us, and enjoy the festival.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both. And thank you so much, Africana Studies, for sponsoring. Okay, so once again, thank you to our finalists for joining us. Congratulations on being finalists. I will be reaching out to you all in the next couple of days. And we will see your work featured in our Healthy Spaces and Places issue. And then also thank you to all of our sponsors who graciously sponsored the Light Festival. It's been such an honor and a pleasure to lead this event and to talk with everyone. And I really just appreciate everyone being here and supporting. Okay, we are... I'm just reading a couple comments too. Dr. Idia, thank you so much to everyone in this space. So grateful for your light. Thanks everyone also for just chatting in the chat box and commenting on people's experiences and what they're sharing. It's very valuable and we appreciate it. Well, we are going to take a 10-minute break. Oh, thank you so much, Angela. We're going to take a 10-minute break. So I will end this session here in a little bit. And we will then join our next session. So our next session will be at 11 a.m. Central Time. We would love for you to join. So you will just go back into the lobby, take a break, and then join at 11 a.m. Central. We will hear from Thato. She is a screenwriter and filmmaker.